What you're witnessing now is a chimpanzee remembering sequences of numbers greatly outperforming humans in terms of speed. This orangutan knows how to unwrap a straw to drink the juice inside. This bonobo, named Kanzi, is learning how to play Minecraft. Heck, he even managed to beat the game. While we're learning more and more about them each day, one thing researchers are split about is whether chimpanzees possess a theory of mind. This is the ability to infer what others are thinking and feeling. Animals that do possess one, like us, understand that others have unique thoughts, beliefs, and other social cognitive skills. As we'll soon see, this query is just one piece of a larger scientific debate about issues such as research methods and speculation. So how deep does the rabbit hole go? To answer this question, we'll evaluate the 1998 review article by Hayes. The author argues that no experiment has yet to convincingly demonstrate evidence for a theory of mind in chimpanzees. One of the components behind a theory of mind is called perspective taking. This refers to the ability to understand that others can see, and to infer what they know or don't know based on what they're seeing. For example, imagine you, yes you, are a chimpanzee. In front of you are two humans, both holding food. One of them has a blindfold over their eyes. So, which human do you gesture to for food? If you consistently gestured at the human without the blindfold, the experimenters would have concluded that you had the ability to take another's perspective. They would have concluded that you knew the human could see you and detect your gesture for food. In the actual experiment, the chimpanzees did not have a preference. So, the researchers concluded that they did not possess this ability. From this experiment, Hayes makes a very logical argument of weak construct validity. In other words, this experiment may not have been capturing perspective taking specifically, but something else entirely. Hayes goes on to suggest logical alternative conclusions. For example, it may have been the case that, instead of using the concept of perspective taking, chimpanzees learned to use visual cues such as eyes to influence their choice. It is plausible that they learned a tendency to beg from people with visible eyes, because they were perceptually salient, or because it was an innate preference. Now, let's zoom out a bit. Highlighting issues like this is not just about proving or disproving a theory of mind, but about a larger scientific conversation. The truth is, the issue is certainly not the first time this has happened in psychological science, and it will not be the last. Clever Hans was a horse in early 1900s who seemed to be able to add numbers or tell the time by tapping his hoof. It turns out he was just looking for subtle cues from the observer who didn't realize it at the time. He would stop tapping when the cue signaled the right answer. They were not measuring the horse's ability to do maths, and this exposure sparked psychologists to develop stricter, better controlled methods in the future. These new methods revealed that, unfortunately, horses cannot do maths. And this is where we have to give Hayes some more credit. They too recognized the issue of weak validity for the sole purpose of prompting researchers to reconsider the experimental methods. They wanted to create conversation around the arguments they made, and it worked. Many researchers responded to disagree with their work. However, they could have done it in a better way. For starters, Hayes provides no evidence or literature to back up their arguments. At this point, it is purely speculation. We don't know the sources that creates the theories, which weakens them. Further, Hayes makes criticisms about the existing literature. However, they do not contribute them. Specifically, they do not give recommendations in the method for future research. Including this may guide research and prevent repeated mistakes. Oh, your answer here is wrong. Oh, well, how can I fix this? It doesn't sound very convincing, does it? At the end of the day, Hayes' review article is one example showing that psychological research isn't just about making a point. It is one piece of a larger scientific conversation that holds researchers accountable and pushes research to improve on research designs and interpretations. Or perhaps this conversation is about preventing another incident like Clever Hans.